Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of BB News. And in today's video, I'm going to be addressing the statement that our owners have made to the fan base. So the owners of the club have issued a statement to all the fans at Chelsea, and they spoke about the season that has gone by and what to look forward to in the future. So if you haven't read it already, it's on the club website. So I'll just read the first couple of paragraphs here for you. It says, "It has been just over a year since we completed our purchase of Chelsea. It was and remains a privilege for us to be custodians of our wonderful club. 12 months on, we want to take the opportunity to speak directly to all of you, our supporters, as we reflect on the season just gone. Our promise to you was to make our fans proud. We remain completely committed to the long-term and sustainable success of our club and fulfilling that promise we made to you. We know the huge potential we must grow to develop Chelsea FC, and it is a role we take seriously. Everybody working here is relentlessly focused on driving us forward. Clearly, for our men's team, it has been a disappointing season, and there is a lot we can do and will do better. Throughout these difficult periods, our fans have supported our players and our team across the country and Europe with unfailing loyalty. We could not be more grateful for your incredible support. The atmosphere at the bridge when we played Dortmund will live long in our memories and serves as an important reminder of what we want to be." So, there you are. There you have it. They have come out and they have admitted that there has been some mistakes. They said, what I liked is that when they said we can and will do better. And they made another comment they made about the fan base and how loyal the fan base have been. But clearly they haven't been looking at some accounts on social media and been on some of the spaces that I've attended of late, because all I hear is negativity from our fan base. So it's good that the match going fans, although there was some disgruntled fans within the fan base, but mainly they have supported us through this difficult time. And that's what it is. That's what it means to be a supporter. Being a supporter means supporting your club through thick and thin. But there's some in our fan base who just want to support us through the good times, and when it comes to the bad times, they just don't know what the word support means. I've heard a lot of nonsense from a lot of our fan base attacking the new owners. And may I add, first of all, I may come across as apologetic towards the new owners, but the thing is, I, unlike a lot of our fan base, understand the situation, and I've understood it from the beginning. They've been thrown in at the deep end. They've taken the club when we were under this sort of this ban because of what happened with Roman Abramovich. So they have come in and learning on the job, as I reiterated a few times on videos that I've made in the past. And some of the nonsense that I've heard levelled at the new owners is laughable. Like, they want to turn us into Red Bull, and all they're doing is buying up these players and turning us into a selling club. And oh my word, would they spend £600 million in one window, or summer and December? Would they have spent £600 million on players if they want to be flipping them at a profit? And some of the players that we bought in as well, people like Koulibaly, who's in his 30s, Raheem Sterling, who's late 20s, how are we going to get any value for them by selling them on afterwards? What they wanted to do, and what I could see what they were trying to do, is build a side really quickly. And they wanted to mix the blend of experience with youth. They wanted to get in the younger players earlier, because they've seen what happens at other clubs where you identify a player at a younger age, and then they rather than having to spend millions of pounds in the future, like we did for the Enzo Fernandez deal, spending a world record fee or a club record fee, sorry, and we want to get these players in beforehand and be a bit smarter in the way that we spend money. So I could see that that's what they're trying to do, but there's others who just don't get it. The thing is, I've heard other people saying, oh, they also want to flip the club and sell it in a couple of years, and without knowing that they have signed a deal which they have to keep hold of the club for 10 years. So they can't just sell it at a profit in 2 or 3 years' time, because Roman, he wanted to leave it in good hands, so he had a clause. You can't just come in, clean the club out of all its resources and then sell it on a bit later. So the Glazer clause or something was called. So that's another nonsense of what people are suggesting as well. So you look at the other clubs that these guys have got a share in. I know some people may say, oh, Todd Bowley's only got a small share in the Dodgers or whatever, but he still is part of that. The process, the planning process of that baseball team. So wherever Bowley and the Clear Lake and others from that team have gone, they have turned it around and made them successful outfits. And the other thing is, people are judging these guys on one season. Okay, it's been a bad season, granted. I know it's been a bad season, but judging people on one season is ridiculous. The Glazers for years have ruined Manchester United. So Manchester United fans have got a right to complain. Liverpool, for a while, until they started to get their house in order, they were not really investing in the club. Arsenal as well. But although I think Arsenal were investing in the club, but they just allowed them to decline. But the problem with Arsenal, I think they kept hold of Wenger for too long, and everything grew stale there. But they still were putting investment into the club. With Chelsea now, you'll hear my dissent if next year we are just as bad, the year after we're just as bad, and we don't see any improvement. That's when you'll hear my dissent. But you're not going to hear my dissent after just one season in charge. I think the problem with a lot of the fan base that we have at the moment, they are all, and it's mainly a lot of the younger fans as well, and people who just supported us because of our success. And when all you know is success, then the first bumpy road that comes along, you can't hack it. And it's that's the thing, because when you start supporting a club for other sentimental reasons rather than just because they are the best out there, you have a different approach on everything. Because like with me, I want us to be successful, of course I do, but I do, for me, because I've seen success, I've seen failures, I've seen it all, I've been through all the emotions that it takes to be a football supporter, then I have a different outlook on things. And this bad season, hopefully for those who haven't seen us have a bad season before and they've dug it out, then when the good times do come, they're all the much sweeter. So if we go next season, look at Arsenal fans. Okay, they finished short, they ran short, but the fact is that they weren't expecting to be challenging for the league. So from all the pessimism that you saw in the Arsenal fan base, there was a lot of optimism. In reflection, they threw it away a bit. But even finishing second for Arsenal, Champions League football's back at the club again, then for a lot of those fans who haven't seen that success before, it's good, because one of my sons, he's an Arsenal supporter. Seeing them back in the Champions League, he's happy. I said he was disappointed that they didn't cross the line in the end, but he's still happy that they've got Champions League football that he can watch. He no longer has to watch Thursday night football. Success. My first ever cup, watching us win the FA Cup in 1997. That was one of the greatest moments. Because why? Because I've been supporting the club for years and hadn't seen us win anything yet, and the fact that we won something, and it was great. And as success got more and more, the feeling isn't as good as your first trophy, your first of everything, your first FA Cup, your first league. That was great as well. Watching us win the Champions League, fantastic. So all these firsts for me were great. The second one against Man City was good as well, but it wasn't as good as the first one because that's the first time I saw us win something, the Champions League in my history. And I never thought I'd ever in my entire lifetime see us lift up the cup with the big ears, but we did it, guys. Even I think the year after we won the FA Cup, we won the League Cup that year against the same opposition, Middlesbrough. And the Middlesbrough fans, when I was coming home on the train, were saying to me, "Cheer up, you just won a cup." And I said, "Yeah, I know, but we beat you 2-0 last season." I was at Wembley for that as well. So this one is good, but it doesn't feel as good as the first one. And so, I always like to win. But as I said, when you haven't had a success and then you start to get success, then it's all the sweeter. All credit to the owners for communicating with the fan base, because as good as Roman was, he didn't really communicate with us a lot, so we didn't know what his plans were. But these guys, they've come out and they've communicated with us, and it's good that they've done that. It's good that they've owned up to their mistakes, and rest assured, I think they're going to be here to give it their best. So we need to stick with them now as well. And as I said, let's give them that support that we need. The club need us more than anything now, especially in this next season. New manager, new dawns, new beginnings. So let's hope that next season will be a lot better. As I said, it obviously can't be worse, but I'm just hoping that we can, and I'm sure that these guys are going to try their best to ensure that we sit on the top table once again. So what do you think about the statement, what the owners made today? Stick your comments in the section below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. So take care. Bye-bye.